Her smile had been avaricious.
What happens then, love?
You keep the wardrobe and enough money to get you back to London first class, plus what's already been put in the bank account I set up for you. You won't be wealthy, but you'll be well off.
And the ice?
You keep the jewelry.
London's expensive. I'll lock the fucking bling.
Fine, but just don't open your mouth in public until we start our row. She had batted her eyes at him.
Paul and Lisa Doolittle, that it?
Najir, whose formal education had mostly been in Switzerland, his final year at Harvard for his MBA, caught the reference. Transformation indeed, he'd said. Not unlike his own, from a minor royal cousin to an off-the-books, but nevertheless paid, special ops arranger for Saudi Intel, the GIP. His own transformation had come during the second major oil crisis, which had been going on now for nearly 5 years. Saudi Arabia's economy, which had always been more than generous for its people, had gone to hell. Even muscling the OPEC signatories into restricting output in an effort to drive up prices had not really worked in the long run. The country had been sliding into its own desert nomad past the entire time. Its voice at the UN was mostly ignored. Oil was cheap, compounded by the U.S. role as an exporter, and the Chinese had taken over as the heavy hitters at the casinos in Monaco, Singapore, Sun City in South Africa, and the Kurhaus in Baden-Baden. Only a very few of the still wealthy Saudi royal princes showed up at the gaming tables, and then their stakes tended to be a shadow of their former glory. And so the pressure was on to bring Saudi Arabia back into the champions circle by identifying the ISIS leaders and planners and eliminating them. It was a delicate plan, and Paris was only the first and smallest step. They crossed the river at the Place de la Concorde and started along the Quai d'Orsay, the Eiffel Tower coming into view.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph,
Miriam said, suddenly getting it.
You guys are totally bug shit. Do you know that?
I'll drop you off at the next corner and you can get a cab back to the hotel, Najir lied to her.
But at least I get to keep the bling.
What do you think? She looked away, and after a moment she shook her head.
I'm not going back, so I'm in.
They'd bought her designer slacks, strappy high heels, and a couple of expensive silk blouses at Givenchy, and her rings, bracelets, earrings, and necklace at Chez Nana on the Rue d'Hauteville in the 10th. The transformation from a Cockney broad to what she looked like now was nothing short of stunning. In the end, of course, none of it would matter. She could keep the clothes and the jewelry all the way to her grave here in Paris. Najir pulled into the parking Pullman ramp on the Avenue de Suffren, just down the block from the Eiffel Tower. He had bought a 24-hour pass online last night. It was just past 11 in the morning, so the rental car would not be noticed until tomorrow, by which time the 3 martyrs plus Miriam would be dead and he would be well on his way back to Riyadh via his 24-hour layover in Cairo. He parked on the 3rd level, and down on the street Miriam linked her arm in his, and they sauntered to the Quai Branly, where they descended to the Riverwalk to join the other lovers strolling arm in arm. The reservation at the restaurant Le Jules Verne on the 3rd level in the tower was for noon. Najir wanted to be exactly on time, because at 1 o'clock precisely, powerful explosives would detonate at the south pillar at that level. If their German engineers had done their CAD modeling correctly, the Eiffel Tower would collapse and fall across the length of the Parc du Champ de Mars, with hundreds in the tower and perhaps as many as 1,000 or more tourists on the ground.
It's pretty here,
Miriam said. Each time I come here it gets better. She looked at him.
Seems a shame.
Depends on how you think about the outcome and the reasons.
Just following orders, is that it?
More than that, he wanted to tell her, but he didn't think that she would understand.